Good morning. Today we're going to be reading Ups and Downs and Ups and Downs and Ups and Downs, adapted from Genesis 37, 39 through 47, and it is written by Joseph. It all started with a robe, a very nice robe, if I say so myself. It had all the colors of the rainbow. My father gave it to me because, well, I was his favorite. I may have strutted around in it a bit too, thinking I was a prince or something. I did have dreams about people bowing down to me after all. So it's not surprising that it really bugged my 10 older half brothers. It bugged them so much that they began to hate me. And it wasn't long before they started planning to kill me. And then they almost did. One day they grabbed me, ripped off my robe, and sold me as a slave to some traders. Then they took my ripped up robe, wiped some blood on it, and told our father I'd been killed by a wild animal. That was a low point for sure, but God was shaping my story. The traders took me to Egypt and sold me to one of Pharaoh's officers. His name was Potiphar, and I worked very hard for him. Before I knew it, he put me in charge of everything he owned. All in all, life was pretty good. That is, until Potiphar's wife accused me of a crime I didn't commit. Potiphar was furious and threw me into prison. Once again, I was miserable, but God was still shaping my story. It wasn't long before the prison warden put me in charge of all the other prisoners and everything that happened in the prison. The warden trusted me. God made sure of that. One day, a couple of other prisoners told me about some dreams they were having. Thankfully, God helped me explain them, and sure enough, their dreams came true just as I had predicted. Later, Pharaoh himself started having strange dreams. No one could explain them but God, and God told me what to tell Pharaoh. I was able to warn him that everybody's food was going to run out and he needed to prepare. Pharaoh was impressed. So impressed, in fact, that he made me second in command. I helped Pharaoh's entire kingdom harvest food and get ready for the years when food would be hard to come by. It was hard work, but God was with me. Which brings me back to my brothers. When famine came, people from all over came to Egypt to buy food. My brothers came too. When they arrived, they didn't recognize me. They even bowed down to me. But I remembered them, and I remembered the old dreams I'd had as a child. Seeing my brothers made me cry. Actually, I bawled like a baby, but I didn't let them see. I could tell my brothers were afraid. If I had wanted, I could have them all killed. But I loved my brothers. In a way, this wasn't really their fault. God had allowed everything to happen, all the ups and downs in my life, so that I could save their lives. My story has a happy ending. My father and all of my brothers and their families moved close to me in Egypt. They had everything they needed and lived long and happy lives. God was with me, and God was with my family. I never had any doubt that God was with me every step of the way, through the good and the bad, as well as the very good and the very bad. God was there. It's amazing to think that God worked everything out for good in my life so that I could help my family. If I hadn't been sold as a slave by my brothers, I wouldn't have been able to give them food during the hunger years. What kind of difficult things have you had to go through? Hard times at school, sad times with your friends? Find a piece of colored paper and write, "God is with me" on it. Then put it in a place where you'll see it every day. From Joseph. Thanks, friends. Have a great day.